we made. Now, you mentioned about killing, you know. Now, I don't, I don't want to speak about anything that you wasn't convicted of or that you can't speak on because we're not on that type of time at Unique Mecca Audio, right? What was it like the first time you seen someone get killed? Let's ask that first, or get stabbed.
Um, I guess the first time, um, it was probably the manner in which they died. Like, sometimes it was a guy having his neck broke, right? So kind of like looked like he just sleep. You understand? Versus blood everywhere, like the opening of wounds. And so I don't give a fuck how strong you are. I believe that have an effect on you mentally, right? And you see it so often until you become used to seeing it, right? But the first time, um, I've seen guys, two of them in fact, burned to death in a cell where a chain was fastened around the steel bars. They couldn't get out. Literally, I saw this right with my own eyes. And it had such a psychological effect on me that every night before I went to bed, I put 6 buckets of water under my bed, right? So to see them jump up and down, I mean, it wasn't like the bed, the cabinet. I mean, it was like an inferno, floor to ceiling fire. And you can literally see them, right? Jumping up and down, screaming and hollering, chain on the door. Even if you wanted to help them, you couldn't. The fire is jumping out the cell. It's so goddamn hot, it's cracking the concrete floor, right? And it's just kind of sad, right? And so, next question. Come on with it.
I see that got a little emotional, just so they understand that these are the psychological traumas that we left these penitentiary walls and brought out here in society. But we know how to control, our inner demons and our insanity with our sanity, Because like Red said, that he has regard for human life. And you've been charged for taking a life. Speak on that if you choose to.
Um, you know, I never killed nobody. You already know that. But I remember in the penitentiary, um, two of my homies that was going at it. Both of them had hands. So one killed the other. But by the time I got over there to try to bring calm to the situation, one was already dead. So I grabbed a knife out the living man's hand and I turned around and ran smack into the police with a blood-dripping knife. They locked me up and they gave me the murder for killing the guy on the ground. So they put me in a hole. Everything concrete in this joint. Toilet, bed, wall, floor, sink. In the back of the cell was a hole in the floor, and that's where you went to use the bathroom, right? So now I'm pacing the floor on a murder case that don't belong to me, right? I know how I got the role, but I'm saying, God damn, I sure wish he'd come and get this motherfucking body. He did. So eventually, after about 8 months in the hole, a government witness surfaced, 2 in fact, who seen the actual murder. So I was released from the hole. The other guy, my other homie, was locked down. And we went on to build a case, you know, to try to get him out from under that. I have no convictions of murder. Like I said, I ain't never put that game down, right? But I've been involved in a lot of things, you know, allegedly, right? And it's crazy. It is really crazy, man, how I heard a broadcast recently in you know, in the 90s, and the system gave their version on some killing in the Lewisburg Federal Penitentiary. And a white supremacy group called Earned Brotherhood, they killed one guy from New York, one guy from DC, stabbed 2 others, and I got scratched up a little bit. And so my name was called for help. I jumped out the shower, and my little homie had been hit 32 times. So 2 guys, they crushing him, one holding the door down. I'm naked. I'm in my birthday suit.
Hold on, Red. They're going to get mad right now. They're going to get mad, but this is my show. I'm driving this car. We're going to get into that right there in better detail so they understand what incident you're talking about, because this is big on YouTube and they don't get men like this on YouTube. So we're going to hold that right there. So y'all bear with me. You know what I mean? Hold off on that. You know what I mean? On that day, Red, we're going to get back to that. We're going to leave them in suspense and be angry with me. Now, let me take it to another question, you know. Right now, as you're a free man, right? What was it like when you turned around after pulling the knife out the dead man's body and running into the police? Why? You said you sat back there for 8 months. You know, this is no disrespect to you and for you fake trolls, gunshots. You know what I mean? For even thinking it. But I have to ask this so you fake trolls and the young brothers out there would understand. You did 8 months in the hole before a government witness came forward. So was you willing to take that murder beef, or was you willing to tell? Or why didn't you tell? I want them to understand that even when you don't do something and you run into something, what we have to do once we hit the streets and we start following these morals, principles, and codes. Why didn't you tell, Red? No disrespect to you and you fake trolls and flip-flop wearing in public clowns. You know what I mean? Explain that, Red. So we understand. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right, because you know I don't even feel right asking that, but for this YouTube thing and the youngins watching this, I want them to understand what happened when you're not even involved, but you get picked up and you decided to be a part of the street world. Explain that, Ray. Why didn't you tell?
I didn't tell because it's not in me to do so. Right? I believe also that a lot of times things befall us, like that situation in particular, and sometimes we pay a price for the things that we did as opposed to the things the things that we have done, I'll say, as opposed to the, being accused of something. It's like the candy now later, right? So I feel like I was in that situation, not because of something I did, but maybe possibly something that I had gotten away with in the past, right? So I'm sitting in a hole, and for real, I'm looking at that electric chair, but I signed on for this shit, right? And nobody told me to run over there and get involved in that knife play, but that's what I do, right? It's like a fireman running and burning building and save babies and whomever. Sometimes the code of the street and what we're taught become a part of you. And a lot of those principles and those rules became the very soul of me, right? I mean, I believed in this shit wholeheartedly, religiously, right? And I don't know, I guess you could call it karma or whatever, right? But I just refuse to roll over, because I got to live with myself. You feel me?
Well said, well said. That's what I want the young people to understand. Because, like I said, on this case, those of you that know me and so on, you already know this wasn't my case that I did Life Plus 20 on. This was my brother's case in Virginia. They charged me with sending drugs down to him. So they said anything that happened with the drugs that was sent down there to him, you know what I mean? That was sent down there to him, I was responsible for, And even after he got killed, 2 bullets to the head, I still refuse to put the weight on him. I did my time and I took mine for what it was worth, and that's not to brag, that's not to get kudos, that's the facts. That's like giving a father props for being a father, giving a mother props for being a mother. No, that's your duty. Just like it was my duty, to respect the code. Right or wrong, Red?
Was that a question, Unique?
No, that was a statement that I made as far as why we don't tell. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I got that.
We don't tell. You know what I mean? So tell the youth that's listening why we don't tell on our comrades, whether they're dead or alive.
You don't tell because for several reasons. There's no one particular reason, with the exception of some code of honor that we live by, right? But it's certain things that you do, you don't do. Like I'm gonna stand up about anything that I believe in, right? And you can't punk me out, right? Because I couldn't live with that, right? So it's just an honor, to stand up. And I know a lot of people would argue this forever, right? But that old saying, if you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything, right? It's just an honor. It's like almost like a brotherhood. It's a code that you live by all your life, right? And that's why I spoke about the system breaking you or you breaking yourself, And there's a lot to come with this, It's rules to everything, man-made laws, natural laws, spiritual laws, law of physics, law of gravity, And so as crazy it may sound, right? And we got to really believe in this shit, because we could have rolled over at any time, but that's not an option with us, right? And we know when we stand up and do the 10s and 20s and 30s and 40 years that we're going to be absent from the people we love. But with that said, I'm saying, you know, that's just what we believe in. That's what we do. You know, like, I'm not equating this with a doctor, but they save people, right? And they believe in that, right? And for some strange, and unexplainable reason, we come up in the street just under a code, right, that we embrace, right, and that we live by, right? And so it would pain me to walk through the inner city, through alleys, and have kids throw rocks and beer cans and shit at me because I'm a rat. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of respect, you know, and especially when you know all the rules, right? And so I don't care what you got. When you take that turn, you lose all your points, all your stripes, you know. And whatever worldly possessions that you have, you know, it don't even mean nothing, you know. It's on you, Unique.
All right. That was deep.
Cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh out the can of 26, yeah. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. Yeah. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Yeah. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Real. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be whoring uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the road men.